While the population of Springdale, Utah hasn't grown much in the last few years, visitation to Zion National Park through this gateway community is bursting at the seams.
We've got about 30% part-time people, and we have just under 600 full-time people there. But what I've really seen happening is an increase in the number of visitors that we're getting, and also an uptick in the types of businesses that we have. So in the last 2 years alone, we've had 3 of our major hotels do remodels and rebrand themselves and kind of up the game, if you will.
In her 4th year of her term, Mayor Barbara Bruno says the small town council has been working diligently to improve housing conditions as well as transportation and parking issues. A new Suntran bus route from St. George to Springdale and back has been in operation for nearly 6 months now, but is still not receiving much ridership.
It is my understanding that the bus is not being utilized by very many employees yet. Most of our employers are willing to pay the cost of a monthly pass, but people are still figuring out how to make the bus work for them, and they're still kind of tweaking. Suntran is still kind of tweaking the schedule to make sure that it coincides with the shifts. But every month there's a little bit more ridership, and they did a smart thing. They are letting the employees of all of the towns along the route, the towns and cities, ride free. So we have a few members of our staff that are riding the bus up.
Plans are also in the works for developers to build more workforce housing so workers won't have to travel from outside areas.
But we're hoping that that gives people an opportunity to live in the town. And then finally, we just sold 2 houses and we have 5 more on the way, working with Southwest Community Land Trust. They're moderate income houses, and they don't own the land. The Community Land Trust owns the land, but people are able to buy the houses, and people who could not otherwise attain home ownership are getting those houses, and they work in the town of Springdale.
Bruno says the town also plans to build a new medical clinic to better serve the residents' needs in the future.
We currently have a little modular building at Town Hall, and that serves as our medical clinic. It's operated by Family Healthcare, and they're fantastic, but we are planning to build a state-of-the-art medical clinic that includes a retail pharmacy as well as exam rooms and even behavioral health, and we're looking forward to that.
And parking continues to be a problem for those wanting to visit Zion National Park. With the tunnel scheduled to be closed to large buses and motorhomes and limited daily parking spots available, Bruno is hoping the county will help alleviate this problem in the future.
We're hoping that at some point the county builds a lot outside of Rockville, because they have some land that they acquired for that purpose. And we think that, in fact, there's going to be an increase in the number of buses and groups that come through once they close the tunnel to two-way traffic. That'll be happening, I think, in the fall of 2026.
And you can expect longer lines at the entryway to Zion this summer season due to federal budget cutbacks.
Zion National Park was already understaffed and under budget, and now that's been worsened by this voluntary retirement. So they are down 40 full-time employees. And without those 40 employees, it's really hard for them to provide the kind of experience that visitors expect. So they're having to really focus on public safety, especially visitor safety, employee safety, and protection of the natural resource, which is causing longer lines at the toll booths to go in because they just don't have the personnel to staff those.
Bruno says so far federal cuts haven't impacted employees as much as first thought due to rehiring of seasonal workers.
They were able to employ their seasonal workers, which was in question for quite a while. So that's a good thing, and we just hope they keep funding the park.
And Mayor Bruno encourages those who are planning to visit the park to stay in Springdale to avoid traffic and parking problems.
So instead of sitting in traffic on Highway 9, it's a really good idea to find lodging over there. We do have great local restaurants, and it's a great place to stay.
From Springdale, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.